Hello, welcome to this presentation for Chemistry A-Level for the Open Evening at Bay House School. My name is Rob Solman. I am the subject leader for Chemistry, and I'm going to talk you through a couple of things that you will have got the information for had you attended an Open Evening in person in a normal year. Okay, so bit of an overview of the subject itself. You'll know something about chemistry already, having studied it at GCSE. So you should know already that it is a fascinating and challenging subject. There's no hiding that this is one of the more difficult A-levels that you can choose. However, we'll come back to that in a minute as to how useful that is. Chemistry is the study of matter and substances and how they interact with the body, but also how they can be engineered. So there are some problems in the world at the moment with things like fossil fuels. The replacement for fossil fuels will be developed by a chemist. The coronavirus vaccine is currently being developed by chemists. And the next generation of mobile phones, games consoles, they'll all be developed by chemists. The PlayStation 5, which is due to be released, and the new Xbox, they're coming out this week. They have been developed by chemists. The materials in them, the silicon chips and all of the electronics, it's all been developed by a chemist. It's not all wet stuff and explosions. There are some wet stuff and some explosions in the chemistry course, but materials such as graphene, Kevlar, fuel cells, they're all born out of chemistry. So the very next generation of technology which advances our society, all coming from this subject. Our examination results at Bay House are excellent. That puts us in the top percentage in the country for grades achieved. And last year, these were the results that we got in the department at the school. And you might be thinking, wow, that was last year and things were slightly different. This is typical, and I'll show you the year before as a comparison. So 15% of students last year gained an A star, 81% gained the top grades of A star to B, which are what universities are looking for if you want to study things like medicine. And 100% of students achieved an A star to C. And like I said, that is typical because in 2019, which was the last year where students sat a formal exam, 16% of students achieved an A star, so actually slightly higher. 77% of students gaining an A star to B, and 90% of students gaining the A star to C. The national picture is significantly lower than that. So you're in a very good place if you choose to study chemistry at Bay House. We are double the national average for A star grades, and significantly above the 54% A star to B as well. This is a huge number, 77. That really puts you in a fantastic position if you wish to go and study scientific-based courses at university. The course itself is OCR B. If you Google OCR Chemistry B, you will find the course page, which gives you all of the information about the specification, the examinations, what exactly is in the course. But as an overview, it is a 2-year course, and there's lots of aspects of chemistry in there, things you'll be familiar with, like basic atoms, molecules, structures, but also quantitative chemistry, some of the better bits of the maths that I'm sure you enjoyed last year. Some stuff on fuels and energy, acid, salts, electrochemistry, very large section on biochemistry and pharmaceuticals. So those of you that are interested in medical related careers, the big section in there for you. Analytical chemistry, metal chemistry, and then a big section on practical chemistry as well. So practical science is part of chemistry. You can't be a chemist without practically getting involved, getting your hands grubby, so to speak. So there is a lot of practical chemistry woven in throughout the course, and you will be assessed on your knowledge of those practical techniques. There are 3 exams, and as I said, it's a 2-year course, but they're all assessed at the end of the second year. There are no examinations or external exams in the first year. We will conduct monitoring exams, mock exams, and things like that, which is partly feeds into our knowledge of students and why our results are so good, because we do forensically analyse your performance and make sure that you are on track. So at the end of the second year, You will sit these 3 exams. The first 2 are 2 hours and 15 minutes long. That's quite long. That's significantly longer than your GCSE exam, but will prepare you for an exam of that length. The first one is 110 marks. It's 41% of your course. The second exam is slightly fewer marks, but the same length. And that's because that requires a little bit more problem solving, a bit more analytical work used to do some graph work and some quantitative analysis. So extra processing time is built in for that, and that's 37% of your course. And then exam 3 is slightly shorter, only an hour and 30, but it's the practical paper. So you're not assessed directly on your practical skills. You're not assessed on your practical techniques. There's no practical exam. There's no coursework. But the practical work that you do throughout the course is assessed in this written paper. So you do need to have a good knowledge and understanding of practical techniques and how and when you would use them. So, I mean, you're here because you're at least vaguely interested in chemistry. Why would you choose it? Well, it is arguably the most facilitating subject of them all. Chemistry is difficult to a lot of students, but the skills that you acquire in this A-level course are high level, and therefore this subject is a requirement for studying medicine. You can't study medicine without chemistry. It's also required for veterinary science, for dentistry, for chemical engineering, material science. So some of the toughest science degree courses require you to have studied chemistry at A-level. And if you're not thinking of entering those degree courses, but you're up for the challenge, or you think you might go into something vaguely science related, it will open doors to you in almost any degree or career path. The skills that you acquire in chemistry are, as I said, so high level. You use every single part of your brain. You use problem solving skills, data analysis, factual recall. It's complicated because it has to be complicated, because it's the forefront of scientific development. And we need people who can think in that analytical way. So if you're not, planning on going into chemistry, an employer will look very favourably on a chemistry A-level, and they'll go, "Oh, you've got some skills. Come on down. You would be worth a look." And so it is very facilitating. That's what we mean by that. It'll open a lot of doors to you. Last year, as with every year, we have a number of students who go on to study the following subjects. So we had a number of medics last year, a couple doing veterinary medicine, a dentist, and then students who choose related degree courses, such as natural science, pharmacology, pharmacy, medicinal chemistry, biomedical science, biochemistry. So medical related chemistry courses, and then also directly related chemical engineering and pure chemistry. A number of pure chemists last year who go on to study just chemistry at university. So these are typical courses that you may well be interested in already. But there are a number of courses that chemistry will lead you to that you might not have thought about. So last year as well, the following courses were studied by students at university. We had a student study accounting and finance, economics. So again, more mathematical, but they would have picked maths alongside chemistry, equine performance, just biological sciences. A number of students go on to study biology, but with a good knowledge in chemistry, it prepares them very well for that. Yacht and powercraft design, aeronautics, aerodynamics, so a number of sort of mechanical and aeronautical engineering. We often have students do aerospace engineering. Some students went to study pure physics, and students study electrical engineering. So chemistry opens all of these doors to you alongside the other sciences that you may well have chosen. So we will provide the textbooks for you. You are welcome to buy any additional books and resources. We do encourage you to read more outside the subject, but we will provide your course textbook on loan for the 2 years. And as I've already alluded to before, we do suggest that you consider studying maths or another science, or both, alongside chemistry. Most students will study chemistry and one other science at least. So chemistry and biology is a classic combo for studying medicine. and other biomedical related courses. Chemistry and physics is perfect for engineering or any of those material science courses. And a lot of students, we would encourage you to study maths as well, due to the high maths content of the science courses. Most students who study a science also study maths. Last year and the year before, we were also able to run a trip to CERN. In 2020, the trip actually left in February, March, so just before the national lockdown. We are not able to run such a trip this year, unfortunately, but we do hope to run that trip in the near future. And that trip is an absolutely brilliant opportunity for you to see chemistry being used in the real world outside of your school studies. So, if you're interested in particles and how matter interacts, that was very, very popular last year and the year before, and we do hope to resume doing trips to the real world when we're allowed to do so. If you have any additional questions or you want any other information, then please get in touch with a member of the sixth form team or myself, and we will be able to answer those questions for you. I do hope that you consider studying chemistry at Bay House, and we look forward to welcoming you in September, if that is the case. Thank you very much.